Hi there, hope you're having a pleasant day wherever you may be. Today I found myself at one of those quintessential roadside attractions. That's right, I'm at the world's largest ball of twine in Cawker City, Kansas. Cawker City is located in northern Kansas, about 50 miles from the town of Russell, which is right off of I-70. So, what exactly is going on here? Well, back in 1953, a guy named Frank Stober tripped over some twine in his barn and he decided to roll it up with the intention of burning it. Well, he never ended up burning it, but he continued to roll up the twine. And after a few years, it had grown to about 7.5 feet in diameter and about 4,000 pounds. And that started to get the attention of townspeople. Then in 1961, he decided to donate it to the city so it can have it as a sort of tourist attraction. It bounced around in a couple places. It started off near City Hall in a metal shed. Then they moved it over to the city park with a little shelter over it, but that blew down in a blizzard. And finally, they built a little gazebo. Well, eventually it outgrew that gazebo, which was over in the city park, and moved here to this shelter. Actually, it's just across the street. You can still see the old gazebo. This is a point of civic pride, and that was emboldened by the Guinness Book of World Records establishing in 1973 that this is the world's largest ball of twine. However, that was short-lived because in 1978, a woman from Minnesota uh, she challenged that claim, and eventually she was determined to have the world's largest ball of twine. So this remained the second largest for several years, and it was sort of immortalized vaguely in the National Lampoon's Vacation movie because there's a point where Clark Griswold mentioned,
Or perhaps you don't want to see the second largest ball of twine on the face of the earth.
even during the era that this was not number one, so he was probably referring to this one. He never actually says it by name, but come on, we could read between the lines, right? Now, over the years, twine has been added to the ball, but in the mid 80s, the town decided enough was enough. They wanted their crown back, and they decided to have a twine-a-thon. So people from the town came, added twine, added twine, added twine, and in 1988, it surpassed the woman in Minnesota to reclaim the crown. So it continues to hold the record, and they still hold the twine-a-thon, and even actually on any day of the week, you can actually add twine yourself. However, it has to be approved twine. It can't be nylon rope or anything like that. Apparently, there is a caretaker that will come inspect the ball, make sure it's all legal twine. But if you want to be a part of history, you can add some yourself. According to the sign, it currently has a circumference of 46 feet, which represents over 8.5 million feet of twine, and it weighs over 27,000 pounds. As for the town, Cawker City, it's quaint. It's got a little charm to it. It's not far from a lake that has a lot of recreation. And also, the name is kind of interesting. Cawker City, apparently, back in the 1800s, four guys had a poker game, and the winner got to name the town after himself. So, a guy named Cawker won. Now, to be honest, I was not intending to make this an entire video, but just a little postscript to the Geographic Center video. But then I started reading the story and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Well, that does it for this one. Thanks for joining me on this trip to the world's largest ball of twine. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it informative. And maybe encourage you to come check it out yourself. With that said, I guess I'll see you on the next one. And if weird little roadside attractions are your thing, which they probably are if you ended up at the Geographic Center of the U.S., well, not too far in nearby Cawker City is the world's largest ball of twine. So check that out.